Hey everybody, I am home. I am fresh off of a really fun weekend in Chicago with my friend Kristin. If you don't know her here on YouTube, definitely subscribe. I'll link to her below. She's been a long-time YouTube friend of mine. Just one of those people you feel you can fully trust, you totally love. Just a genuinely great person. And we got to hang out, we got massages, and we shopped. We ate great food, and it was just a really fun time. But either before this video comes out or after, I'll have a vlog on all this. But we did shop at the Nordstrom sale, the big anniversary sale. I don't blame you if you're already like, oh my gosh, like my subscription feed is full of people trying to shove this sale down my throat. But people are really going hog wild during this sale. This year, just looking at my own self, not like what would be great things to recommend and talk about, but just like my personal interest. Kristin and I got to see all this in person, so I got to look at all this beauty stuff, and I kept it minimal this year. Considering the entire sale, I got 5 items. I got 3 beauty things, 1 clothing item, and 1 body type product. And I wouldn't just automatically recommend all that either. I'm going to talk about it all. And then there are still a few good deals that are products I've used and loved, but I didn't need to buy during this sale. And I'll mention those at the end, but I guess my advice here is like, just because it's a big sale, it's getting a lot of hype, doesn't mean you have to get something. Sometimes I just think we know the sale is going on, so I feel like I have to buy something. No, like just think about, do I really genuinely like, want, or need this thing? Like, for example, I saw a Bobbi Brown palette sitting out and it looked all pretty. You know, I was able to see the stuff in person, and I was telling Kristin, I was like, I know I have all these shades, but the pretty, you know, grouping in this palette makes me want to buy this, but I know I don't need it, and so I didn't get it. And trust me, I'm not flawless in keeping that kind of self-control all the time, as you'll see with one of these other products, but I don't know, thoughtful shopping might be a good thing to keep in mind. So I'll tell you what I got. First up, I got this little lip duo from Bobbi Brown. These are called the Extra Lip Tints, and I already had one in the pink shade and the blackberry shade. And included in this kit is a pink and a bare nude. So the pink that I'll be referencing is the one I already have open. My brand new pink I'll go ahead and give to somebody. But the pink doesn't even look like anything. I'm wearing it on my lips, and it gives you a lot of shine, a lot of moisture, and a gentle tint to the lips. And then I really wanted to get it because of the bare nude color, and these are full size, by the way. And the bare nude is a little bit warmer, a little bit more of a honey looking color. They're so sheer, they're not like incredibly drastic differences between these, but I was really glad to get them, and I really love that natural looking lip, and I thought it was a good deal to get these. Now, there were some other full size lip products in the sale, but there were also a lot of mini kits as well, and I just thought for this type of product, I thought what a good deal. It's definitely like a lip treatment type of feel, but you get that pretty color, and you know I love a tinted balm, so I felt like this was worth it to me, and I was glad I picked it up. Okay, here's another thing that I got. Charlotte Tilbury has a small palette in this sale. It's called the Easy Smoky Eye Palette, and it's sort of outlined to have 2 looks in it, and this was one of those things that I kind of grabbed without a lot of thought. I just thought it looked pretty. It was in a little bin of things, and Kristin was getting one too, and so I just thought, oh, I'll just go ahead and get it. And it was all like kind of boxed up. I could tell it was going to be neutrals, but what I realized, and especially realized getting home and comparing it to this palette, this larger palette that I think was out around the holidays, it's called Stars in Your Eyes, there's a ton of overlap with this one, okay, in a couple of different segments, and I'll pop up those swatches so you can see, but it's basically like this chunk here. There's a little more pink in the shade from the larger palette, but it's a really close match, and then several of the shades on this end, this shimmer, and then these 2 over here, just so similar. If you already have this, you don't need this, and the textures are really nice. I must say, they're soft, they're pigmented, the mattes are nice, the shimmers are beautiful, like there's a really pretty copper in here. But even if I didn't have this, I don't know, part of me might come away thinking this is a pretty common palette for $55. Like, that price tag still makes me feel like, is this really worth it? How many little warm neutral palettes do I already have, right? So this is a little bit of a regret for me, like I said, because I already own this and there's so much similarity, but beyond that, there's similarity to a lot of things that I have. Now, I'm not trying to take away the quality on this because I think they're smooth, they're lovely shades, they're pretty colors, but dang, when I look at the kind of collection I have, I'm thinking, this was not necessary, and it was 55 bucks. This is the final beauty thing that I got, and this is from MAC, and it's called the Cool Palette Eye and Face. They also had a warm palette, but the shades seemed extremely unexciting to me for whatever reason. It just looked like the kind of palette that's been done again and again and again. I may not have caught it with this one, but I caught it with that. Maybe it was because I didn't see this open, and the MAC palettes, they had samplers both opened up. But there is a cool, like, kind of sort of fabric texture with a foiled thing running through it. It's very pretty. It's very sturdy. But I remembered seeing this and I was like, Kristin, come look at this. It's kind of pretty in the fact that it's got the blush and highlight, and it's got cool colors, but it's also got this burgundy splash and a plummy splash. And yes, I think it definitely runs cool, but it's not like 100% gray tone, you know? Like that shade actually very interestingly warms things up a little bit. And I love this color over here. I've got some of that on my lid. In my crease, I've got a combo of these two colors actually with a little bit of this one in the outer corner just for a little bit of depth, and a lot of this shade on my lid. But I also love the blush. I'm wearing the blush and the highlight. I'll list the shades or link to where you can look at all the shade names below. Sometimes with these palettes you get like regular line MAC shades, and I think sometimes there are new ones. But for the blush, that's called Baby Baby, and this is Silence is Golden. The blush is totally matte. Of course, the highlight has a little shimmer. Not out of control though, and I really like that level of color on the cheeks. And this was 45 bucks. So I paid $10 more for a little eye palette that had half as many eyeshadows, right? And here I'm paying $10 less, double the eyeshadows, plus a blush and highlight. Like, sorry, so practical, but I'm really enjoying this. Here's another thing I feel good about. I could have picked it up in store, but I flew to Chicago and I was only taking my carry-on bag. I don't think I could have fit it in, and I didn't want to check this ginormous pump bottle. But it's this Kiehl's lotion called Creme de Coeur. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but I have a mini of this, and I was using it in Destin, and I absolutely loved the way this looks on the skin. There is no shimmer in this lotion, but it makes the skin glow so beautifully. Like, the moisture level in it is just so nice, and it doesn't irritate like freshly shaved legs. Sometimes certain fragrance products, like after I've put them on, the day after, I'll notice like a weird little eczema situation, like a little bit of a reaction to it on my hands. I don't have that. And I thought, what a great thing to get in a large amount and use like on the bump and during the remainder of pregnancy. You get a big amount of it, you feel kind of free to use a lot of it, and I just thought it would be a really great heavy duty lotion. And I was kind of deciding between that and the large size of the Charlotte Tilbury Supermodel body, which was, I think, going to be about double the price, and it does contain shimmer, and it's very glowy. I have a sample of that as well. I like that as well, but I felt like just weighing the two, I didn't feel like I needed two big things of lotion, all right? So to settle on one, I went with the thing that I thought would really be good all over the body, as opposed to the Charlotte Tilbury one, which I might have just focused on arms and legs only because it had that shimmer to it. So that's something like I've already used in a sample. When I mentioned it, I think I talked about it on Instagram, and somebody said like, look for that in the upcoming Nordstrom sale because they'll sell a huge size, and sure enough, they are. And then the final thing I got was a Barefoot Dreams cardigan. I believe it's called the Circle cardigan, and this was influenced by Kristin. We were shopping through the clothes stuff, and I really wasn't planning to do a lot of heavy looking at the clothes. You know, I'm in maternity mode now, and yeah, I'm sure I could come up with some cute stuff, but I just, like, I don't feel like buying a ton of clothes right now. Rarely do I really feel like buying a ton of clothes. But we came across these, and she's like, oh, do you have one of these? I'm like, no. And I told her, I'm like, I question the hype on this stuff. Like, everybody every year talks about how great these cardigans are. And then on top of it, they talk like you're getting a bargain when it's still kind of pricey even on sale, right? I mean, this is coming from someone who tries to buy a lot of their shirts $10 or less. But still, I just thought, you know, I'm not gonna go for it. I wouldn't have gotten it. But then Kristin proceeds to tell me all the reasons why it's so amazing and it's so soft. She's like, just put your arm in it, just put it on and you'll see what I mean. So I tried one on in this kind of like charcoal gray, near black color. I really like the way the neck folded back and the arms, like it felt like I was sinking my arms maybe into butter or something. It was so smooth and so soft. And I just was able to kind of wrap it all around me. And I was having these visions of, okay, you're having a baby in the fall. This will be a nice thing to throw on over your nursing tanks and just wear around the house, almost like a robe mode. It comes down over the butt a little bit, so it's very comfortable to like wear with leggings. I could see the scenarios unfolding, and so I'm like, okay, Kristin, I'm gonna do this. And then I joked with her, I'm gonna wear this thing every single day and get my full good out of it. But I got that. I'm glad I got it because I do really think I'm gonna use it. Like right now we're talking 90+ degree heat, so no, I'm not sitting here in my Barefoot Dreams cardigan. But for the fall, for the winter, I think it will be nice. And she did say it has really good durability and you don't have to give it any special treatment like wash it, dry it, and it's good. So I would just say refer all questions about Barefoot Dreams to Kristin because she's got a lot more experience with this stuff. But I got one and I do feel good that I went ahead and got it. So that's my experience, guys, doing what I would call going minimal sort of during the Nordstrom sale. Maybe in comparison to a lot of the recommendations you've seen. And I've seen all the beauty stuff, like beyond just seeing it in store. Then I went and I looked through the website just to see if there were some things maybe they didn't have. They pretty much had everything out in stock, but there are a few things that I didn't need right now that I would say are good buys. For example, this Bobbi Brown face base, they're selling a duo of this stuff, and this is my like all-time love wearing it under makeup product, and I am gonna run out of this eventually, and I have another one waiting already, so I thought I don't need like an army of them. But this is a rich under makeup moisturizer. Since I've started using this, I do feel like my makeup goes on more smoothly, looks fresher on the skin. I didn't travel with this because I just was trying to save space in my bag, and I really missed using this. And so today I put it on and my skin was like, oh, thank you. And it has this kind of light citrusy scent that's very refreshing. And yeah, it's called a face base. Like it's almost seen as being a really nourishing moisturizer slash makeup primer. Also, I noticed they had a set of some all-nighter setting sprays. All-nighter is one of the best, I think, for staying power. I do notice a difference when I use all-nighter. And I think this came with like a smaller size and a bigger size. And yes, there are plenty of times that I get caught up in the pretty scents of this or that setting spray. But for a really functional, good product that truly does affect the staying power of your makeup, all-nighter is great. Also, I've loved using a beauty blender quite often to blend out my makeup. If it's not my foundation, I'll use it for concealer. I'm using it for something almost every day, and I noticed they were selling a 2-pack of beauty blenders and also a little like container for them that kind of keeps your beauty blender contained but also lets it dry out. There's like holes in it so it can dry. So I thought that was kind of cool. I have a backup beauty blender already, so I didn't feel like I needed to pick that up, but I think it was like 35 bucks or around there, and I thought that was actually a really good deal if somebody was looking to try a beauty blender. I mentioned also I like that Supermodel Body lotion from Charlotte Tilbury. It's got the shimmer, the glow in it, but it's not like super dark or tinted, but it looks fantastic on arms and legs. I just felt like I wasn't going to get 2 huge lotions during this sale, so I went for something that I thought would give me a little more bang for my buck, and I'd use it all over the body. But there you go, everyone. That's my chat about the Nordstrom sale this year. I think it's on the 18th that this sale opens up to everyone, even if you're not a Nordstrom card holder. But if you get a Nordstrom card, that's when you are technically in the early access time. So let me know if you've gotten anything from this sale. What's your shopping philosophy? Do you just feel like, yes, this is my time to go hog wild, or do you watch it a little bit? I tried to watch myself a little bit more, and I feel, I don't know, I think I feel a little more passionate about those certain things that I did pick up. So thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Bye.